16th, you heard of a phone call that your mom had with your sister.
Well, that was like the first phone call that my mother and my sister had after my sister was arrested. So she was in, and then she called the house.
She called the house from jail?
Casey did, yes.
Okay. And that phone call was recorded, I guess, by the jail authorities?
Yeah, because that's been released, and that was the first time that I ever heard that name, and then,
Okay. Now, and what did you hear? How did you first hear the name Zenaida Gonzalez, and that this was the nanny who had been taking care of Casey?
After my mom got off the phone, she, just told me what Casey said.
What did she tell you?
That she asked Casey, who has Kaylee, who took Kaylee, and she said Zanny, or Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Okay. And but did she call her Zanny?
Typically, that's how I would have heard it, was Zanny.
So when your mom got off the phone, you're sitting there waiting. You all are in the. Who all was there? You.
Our house was pretty full at that point.
Who all was there at that day?
Myself, my dad, my mom, I believe Casey's friend Christina was there. We probably had a bunch of people in the house. I couldn't even. That's all I can remember at this point.
Casey's been arrested. You all are at the house. Your mom has a conversation. It's a one-way. You can only hear what your mom is saying. Are you listening to your mother talk back and forth, or are you all in another room?
Same room.
Okay, so you're hearing a one-sided conversation. And your mom hangs up the phone, and she says, what about Zenaida Gonzalez in particular?
Relays the name, because during the call there was no other substance. There wasn't any other real content at that point. Because actually during that time, Casey got frustrated with my mother. I talked to her for a very short period of time on that same phone call for a very short period of time, but our topic conversation was not, as Zenaida. And then,
what did you all talk about?
We talked about. Actually, we just talked about how she was talking to Mom. I was trying to get her to focus and say, we're all on your team here. You can't be short with Mom, and we're trying to help you.
Was she jumping Mom?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, they were very combative when they were on the phone. So when I got the phone, it was more just the phone was forced to me that, here, talk to your sister.
Right.
So it was
de-escalate.
Exactly. So that was the attempt, and that was not so. I wasn't so successful. Right. So she ended up talking to her friend Christina, and then I wasn't on the phone with her again on that day. So.
Okay. So your mom comes up and she says, everybody says, what does she say? And she says, the last that she saw Kaylee she was with Zanny?
Yes.
And then they said the word Zanny and Zenaida Gonzalez?
My mom had claimed that she had heard the name Zanny before.
Okay.
Zanny. At least she has said that to me before. I had never heard that name before.
But did your mom that night say that she had heard the name Zanny before?
I don't think she said it particularly that night. I don't think she would have acknowledged that
night. It was a new name to everybody.
That the whole thing, Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez, yeah.
That was new to everybody.
That was, definitely new to me.
Was it your impression that name was new to your mom that night as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from them, because I know Cindy Anthony was one that pointed out that I was the Zanny the nanny is what they call me, which I hate that name, but that's what they call me. And I would like for her to point out to me and tell you, it wasn't you. But my focus right now is just mainly like trying to get my family back to where I had my family. I mean, we weren't the richest people in the world, but I lived happy, and all this just kind of changed my life dramatically. Not only mine, my daughter's, and that for me is the most primary thing right now. Is just getting my daughters to where they need to be, and stable, in a stable place, you know, having friends again.